was that one? A couple of months. No, since in you, and it's just one I've just grabbed off the first table. So there is, right?
Give it a go.
No, I'm going to new set them in that. If it worked, it would.
One extension per frame. So if I get the balls on the rack, then I'll call a timeout and that's in the back seat so I can get the rack out of the way from the camera. Like break after 3, 2, 1. Very good tonight. Thank you, gentlemen. First frame, Craig Lakyn to break. Time running.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to this final 8 match between, well, arguably two of the players have got maybe the most firepower in the game. Two of the most aggressive, two of the most attacking, and two very quick, exciting players in Scott Gillespie and Craig Lakyn. This really should be an aggressive, quick-fire game. Now we know almost certainly that Scott Gillespie is going to be consistent. I think he's been consistent in every single match that he's played in this tournament. He seems to turn up. He rarely puts in a bad performance. Craig Lakyn has been exceptional throughout this event so far. He's come through the winner's side unscathed. But we also know that Craig can occasionally chuck in a bit of a poor performance. Let's hope for both of them that they're both at the top of their game. This really could be a cracker. Scott doing exactly what he needs to do.
seconds.
Extension call.
Calls for his extension. And the reason for that is there's a lot of traffic up table. The natural angle means he's going to collide with the little pack of balls. So deciding to just stun up inside the black, felt that he couldn't avoid the cluster of reds. But this one is a bit skinny. Doesn't need to do too much with the white. It's a fairly natural angle to come back across table. 2 cushions, but he's missed that. And this is the chance that Craig Lakyn would have been looking for. These early frames, hugely important about mindset, confidence, momentum. Craig Lakyn, one of the fastest players. Well, that's certainly not gone to plan. I don't know if he had a kick there, what actually happened. But showing a lot of maturity in that shot. Very clever. Knowing he can use that, the rule, the tactical shot, playing red onto yellow, and leaving Scott in a snooker. Scott not only has to get out of this, he has to hit a cushion. He's doubled it. It's in. He's got it. He'll put his hand up and apologise about that one. It was definitely not as intended. He would have been aiming to hit it thin and try and get it into the middle. He hit it thinner than anticipated and ended up doubling it. But, he'll take it. 1-0 to Scott Gillespie. And what a player he's been throughout this series. There we go again. So he's looking to come 2 cushions and hit it half ball into the middle. He's hit it quarter ball, doubled it. Lucky the white coming around didn't flick it away from the pocket. But, those are the chances you take when you play that snooker. Not much Craig could do about that. And you can see him there just trying to focus himself, trying to clear his mind, get rid of any negative thoughts that may be there, get himself in the right mindset to play, well, one of the most important games of his pool career so far.
Scott Gillespie to break, leading 1 frame to 0. Time running. Yellow's in play.
So a big break from Scott, and electing to go yellows. Had a nice angle just to be able to stun down and cannon that yellow. And even now has a nice angle. He's got options available. He could screw back through the gap of the 2 reds to leave himself the yellow to the right of those 2, which is what he's done. If anything, probably just overhit that by an inch the other way, and he's got a simple little stun shot to leave the other yellow in the opposite pocket. Looks like he could still just pinch a bit and play that same shot, and should be elementary from here.
Frame. Third frame, great Lakyn to break, trailing 2 frames to 0, time running.
What a break that is. Balls flying in everywhere.
Yellow's in play.
Already just slightly hampered. That's good. Just holds on the back of the red. And hampered again. He's just being a tiny bit careless, and it shouldn't cost him, but you know, it's just these little errors that can creep into your mind, and it just adds layers of negativity. You think, just kind of ran out of position. It was all good. It's going to take the frame regardless. Nice from Craig. So 4 games being played as we speak. Over on table 11, Darren Appleton versus Carl Boys, and Darren is 2-0 ahead. And you can watch all 4 of these games, or choose which one you'd like to. Adam Davis is 1-0 ahead of Craig Waddingham. Liam Dunster is 1-0 ahead of Mark Farnsworth. You can stick with us, and Scott Gillespie, Craig Lakin.
Time running.
Another huge break from Gillespie. This guy is just a machine, isn't he? So few mistakes in his game. He just makes the game look easy.
Extension call. Yellow's in play.
He's one of those players, when he's at the table, you just feel absolutely comfortable. Some players you just feel a bit nervous and you wonder where it's going to go wrong, but so consistent, you just never feel like he's going to miss. And somebody can be so consistently accurate. So not for the first time over this series have we looked at Scott Gillespie's profile, but we're going to do it again. His nickname is Goobsy. He's 32 years old. His sponsor's Mark Johnston. He's engaged to Melanie Campbell. And he has a Craftsman Q with a 9.2mm tip Elkmaster. It's quite a big Q. Quite a big tip, should I say. 9.2 for a pull player. You just have to reroute here. He was planning on going for the middle, but no problem at all. Just screws around 2 rails and makes it really simple. Pool achievements. Well, he wrote this profile at the start of the year, and the list will be considerably longer since he wrote this. First ever winner of the PPPO Apprentice Tournament. World Under-21 champion. World Under-21 runner-up. Jersey Open winner. Nations Cup singles winner. Scottish national champion. And multiple Scottish ranking events. Obviously since then, and I mean a multitude of other international and county team event winners, medals. But yeah, since then, of course, he's won 2 Supreme events. He won Event 1 and Event 4 and is the current reigning champion. And the small matter of picking up that little world title last week. Can call himself the current world champion in the Black Ball International. What a year he's had, what a player.
Fifth frame, Craig Lakin.
He was a keen snooker player when he was younger, and at the age of 17 he started playing pool, as he didn't think he'd make the grade at a professional level. And ever since then he's loved it. His dad is his inspiration. He was a very keen pool player back in the day, and he used to go to the local snooker halls with him and his friends. And that's where his love of cue sports came from. His dad always supports him and watches him wherever he can. Your favourite cue sports player was, when he was younger, it was Derek Murphy. Paul McCutcheon, very flamboyant player. And more recently, Mick Hill, as he's the GOAT. When asked in his profile what he'd still like to achieve in the pool world, he said that he would love to add a world title, which he's already done. And interestingly, until about 5 years ago, he couldn't play pool with any side. He always had to play at centre ball. Very good golfer as well. Oh no! Oh wow! Lakin thought we'd miss that. So that's Scott Gillespie. Craig Lakyn, his opponent, nicknamed Money Making. He's 27 years old. He's sponsored by Gill Factor Pool Promotions, the Corn Exchange and Jarrow MOT Centre. He has a 8mm Elkmaster tip on his cue. He was the Bapto champion 2013, 2014 and 2014-2015 IPA amateur event winner in 2016. Players Amateur Champion in 2016 and EPA Challenge Tour winner in 2018. Started playing because he was in pubs a lot when he was a youngster and just took up the game then. His biggest inspiration is Ronnie O'Sullivan. There's not many players at pool or snooker he actually enjoys watching, but Ronnie's fast pace makes the game look easy. Favourite pool player is himself, and his ambition is to become world champion. When asked about his anticipation for the Supreme Series, he said, sure to be the greatest event the game's ever seen. He's looking forward to playing against the boys that were top of the game when he was growing up. And when asked if he has any other talents, he said chess. He's competed at an international level at chess. I'll have to find out if that's true or not. You never know with Craig. He loves a bit of a joke, a real character in the game. Anyway, the game was going on as I was talking about the player profiles. Craig broken dish the previous frame. And now it's Scott at the table trying to return the favour. And again, very, very simple layout. You just don't expect him to have any problems here. He'll take the one over the pocket next. No, he's going to take the one. Well, I would think the one over the pocket next and then just screw back 6 inches. Yeah, that would make much more sense. And just screw down the rail. Leave himself a nice angle to come down table. Gaz Potts earlier was talking about just leaving yourself natural angles, and that's pretty much what this is, just a natural angle off the top rail. You see, just playing it plain ball, and again leaving himself a lovely natural angle. He could literally play a stop shot, he can stun it back a few inches, whatever he feels most comfortable with. He just lets the cue ball run through an inch to leave himself a nice angle. And he's going to come around 2 rails. Overhit that just a fraction, so slightly hampered. A little bit straighter, probably 9 inches of pace too much, but this will not present a problem. He's looking at the angle. As I say, always made it slightly difficult because he needs to lift the butt of his cue, as you can see. Cueing over that red ball, it means your eyes are just above the ball, so you're not looking straight down your cue. What you normally have is that you're looking straight down the cue, through the cue ball, to your object ball, and the pocket all in a line. But of course, when your head's up in the air, you can't see that, so you just have to make sure you pick your line on the cue ball. Just adds that degree of difficulty, but at this level, that was still a gimme. And it's 4 frames to 2. So just to let you know, this is your very last chance to win a Supreme winner pool table. You will find that poster pinned to the top of the page on the Facebook Pool Events Facebook group, and it's your opportunity. If you like and share it, you'll go into the hat, and one lucky person is going to have the chance to win that table. But I can tell you now, they will be doing the draw very, very shortly. So if you haven't done so already, quickly rush across there and get your name in the hat. And you could be winning one of these tables, the same as you see in front of you, delivered to your door. It really is your last chance. Draw's going to be done very soon.
Red's in play.
And a dry one from Craig Lakyn. That is not at all what the doctor ordered. And as I say, he has to stay with Scott Gillespie here. It's essential. Craig Lakyn is the kind of player that can reel off 3 or 4 frames on the chop, but he's going to be relying on mistakes from Scott Gillespie. And Scott's just got a monster break. And just doesn't make too many mistakes. So already you got to kind of fear for Lakyn. Quick look at the other scores. Cowboys has pulled another frame back, having been 2-0 down. It's now 2 each. Adam Davis 2 each against Craig Waddingham. Liam Dunster 2-1 against Mark Farnsworth. And I mentioned that these 2 players are quick fire. All the other games have played 3 and 4 frames. This one is just about to conclude its 7th. A high standard, and Scott Gillespie now has a 3-frame advantage over Craig Lakyn, and this is going to be a long road back already.
Frame.
Referee calls frame. Also, today, not forgetting that you can win a Jason Owen Special Edition cue by going to k8.com, opening an account and making a bet. My tip for you was to deposit a £5 and have it on Arsenal. So I hope you didn't follow my advice, because it's currently 2 apiece. I'm sure I said Chelsea. So there we go, that was the Jason Owen poster.
Eighth frame, Scott Gillespie to break, leading 5 frames to 2, time running.
Incidentally, that Jason Owen cue worth £500, so that's a great prize. I mean, look at this break.
Time out.
He really is fast becoming one of the greatest players around. Has to be the informed player of the year, along with Phil Harrison, not just because of what he's achieved in this event, but he goes deep in just about everything he plays. Phil Harrison had another great year on the UK tour and won 2 of these events. They are the 2 players at the very top of the tree. And surely now Scott Gillespie must be considered among the greats of Scotland. So many great players playing out of there now. Another one in Liam Dunster in action. Mark Boyle, of course, one of the best the game has seen.
Extension call.
Jason Shaw, another one. I mean, Scotland just produces one after another. The talent just keeps coming. Cowboys now 3-2 up on Darren Appleton. Mark Farnsworth levelled it against Liam Dunster. Well, slightly too much angle there, I think, and being on the cushion. I mean, if this was, maybe he can hold it. I don't think so. He might have to take this in the bottom corner. If he plays it to middle, the natural angle for the yellow is either going to nudge the black in or it's going to go past the face of the black. And of course, you can't play the black in a combination shot. It has to be played in its own right. But Scott Gillespie, as I said earlier, just never looks like missing. If he runs out of position slightly, he just pots his way out of trouble. 6 frames to 2. A steely look of determination on his face. And I can tell you now as well, he's a very likeable chap. Always has time to stop and chat. Very modest, very humble. Has many, many good qualities beyond the pool table.
Ninth frame, Craig Lakyn to break, trailing 6 frames to 2, time running.
Again, I've already said it, but this really is a must-win for Craig Lakyn. Needs a big break. Oh, he timed them so well. How unlucky is that? It was like a bomb burst when that cue ball hit the front. Hit the sweet spot on the front of the pack. Everything's gone far and wide. Sadly for him, he's gone dry. And the yellows just look superb. This is going to be 7-2 in the blink of an eye.
Yellow's in play.
Adam Davis has picked up another frame. He's 3-2 up against Craig Waddingham. All the other scores remain the same. You can watch any of those four. All four games are being streamed. But I will keep you abreast of the scores in the other games. So you can stick with this and watch this masterclass from Scott Gillespie.
Frame.
Another frame called. Another frame to Scott Gillespie. He now leads by 5 at 7 frames to 2.
Tenth frame, Scott Gillespie to break, leading 7 frames to 2. Time running. Yellow's in play.
Seconds.
Extension called.
So guys, just to warm you up to the idea, we will, I don't know if you watched the final from event 4 or any of our previous events that we've done before. Now and again we have a little feature of viewers' photos. So give it some thought. We love to see you at home and how you will be watching the grand final. So something funny, something unique, or just a picture of you in your lounge watching the grand final. So send in a selfie and we will try to feature it during tonight's grand final.
seconds.
Oh, wow. Goodness. There's one for the scrapbook. He's shaking his head. Disgusted with himself. He's missed one ball in 9 frames. Oh my goodness. Surely. I cannot believe that's a foul. And Lakin laughingly says that's a terrible shot. What a fantastic shot. Played it to the side rail with side. And Lakin's going to play this off the cushion, off the back of the yellow to clear the pocket. Yeah, Lakin jokingly says that's a terrible shot because, of course, Scott got out of the snooker but didn't hit a rail. There's no total foul, no total snooker rule in this rule set. You have to hit a cushion. So, well, Craig needs to be careful here. He played it really well judged. It would be easy to make errors here because he's been sat in his seat for so long. And look at the pace he plays at. That was lovely. Really nice deft touch. And he is the kind of player that could make a comeback. But I say, he is always relying on mistakes from Scott Gillespie. Lakyn's got enough firepower, but he needs the table time. Scott Gillespie is unlikely to give it to him, but the deficit's now 4. It's 7 frames to 3.
Frame, Craig Lakyn the break, trailing 7 frames to 3, time running.
So Lakyn's break, again, hugely important. Now he finds a ball. Ironic fist in the air. As he finally finds a ball off of his break. That's all he can ask for. Now, he needs to take the chance. That one wiped his feet on the way in. Exchange a little smile with, oh no. Where's the cue ball? No, 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 that's a disaster. He knew, I mean, that's so unfortunate. He knew he was going to flick the red on the way past. And actually played the shot quite well, played it at a decent pace, but the flick just took that ball straight into the middle bag. That really is unlucky. And it's virtually going to gift another frame to Scott Gillespie. Just as Lakyn was trying to gather some momentum to make a comeback, he stopped in his tracks by a bit of poor fortune.
10 seconds.
Extension call.
As expected, Scott Gillespie taking full advantage of that Craig Lakyn mistake.
Frame. Frame number 12, Scott Gillespie to break, leading 8 frames to 3, time running.
Little series of action replays of the action so far, the key shots, and we're back with the live action. And Scott Gillespie's break, and he's gone dry, and it's another glimmer for Craig Lakyn. He couldn't take the last one, he has to take this one. Update on the other scores. Darren Appleton 4-3 against Carl Boys. Adam Davis now 6-2 against Craig Waddingham. I mean, Craig Waddingham has put in such a performance over the last couple of days. I mean, he was impeccable, absolutely flawless against Mick Hill. One missed ball in the whole match. But he's trailing to Adam Davis, who is on a charge. Could Adam Davis do this? Liam Dunst is 4-2 up against Mark Farnsworth. Not too many people have mentioned Adam Davis's name so far this weekend, but here he is in the quarterfinals. He is fully qualified and possesses all the tools to do the business this weekend. Another one that's hampered, and this is now horrible. I mean, anything but behind that black, and this would be fairly simple just to screw up into the gap, but he needs to find something here. Yep, taking his medicine, as they say. White ball's going to be running. Really, really needs to cue this well. Oh, that was nice. I did wonder if it would go off the red. And it certainly would. I didn't know if he'd risk it or not, but played it beautifully well. Reduces the gap to 4. And now, this is the point where he needs the fortune to go his way. He needs a break, he needs him to open. All he can do is one frame at a time. 12 frames these players have got under their belt in under an hour. Quick fire stuff. By far the quickest of any other games. Next fastest is Adam Davis versus Craig Waddingham, who have played 9. No surprise that Liam Dunst and Mark Farnsworth have only played 6. Far more thoughtful players.
Frame, Craig Lakyn to break, trailing 8 frames to 4, time running.
Another big break coming. Nails it. White's in off though. It wasn't going in off, the red came up and helped it in. But regardless of that, he was dry.
Foul, 1 visit, ball in hand behind the break line.
Now, what Scott can't do is play red onto yellows, a red onto yellow, and be yellows. But what he can do is he can play yellow onto red onto yellows. And I think the players are just having a chuckle between themselves as Scott was just lining that shot up and then said, oh, hang on a minute, I can't play that, can I? If you play red onto yellow, then because you've struck the red first, it's effectively an incomplete combination shot and it's loss of turn. If he potted reds and yellows, if he hits the red first, then he would be on reds. And he's got that problem in reverse over the left-hand pocket. So what he's going to do now is play a 3-ball plant. Yellow onto red onto yellow. But it's a tricky one. And then he's still got the problem with the yellow over the left-hand side. And you could tell that from when Craig Lakyn was stood there looking on, with a little frown on his face. You could tell what was going through his mind there. He was thinking, hang on a minute, this isn't quite as easy as it could be. Wow, that was a great shot to break everything open, a great shot, but he's had no luck. Parked in behind this yellow with, he's got no shot, has he? I think all he can do is Just run off the back of the yellow and try and leave it safe. Yeah, that's all he could do. Well, half a chance here for Scott. We'll be taking the aggressive option. We'll be looking for a clearance. And I think he was trying to flick the black on the way through, black on the red, to promote that yellow closer to the middle bag. Now he needs to come up with a plan for that yellow. He can drop it down the rail. Yeah, this one's going to need a bit of planning. Needs to be careful though, he's used his extension. He'll need to keep an eye on that clock. Very good from radiology there. He's just spotted that we could have a Adam Apple final. Adam Davis and Darren Appleton. The Adam Apple final. Love it. There must be some quip about Carl Boys as well. Boys, something about boys to men or something. I don't know. There must be something there, surely. He needs to find this. Look at this for a shot. Oh, just caught the black on the way through. That looked like it was coming down just about where he was cueing. But he's got a flick on the way through. He's still got a shot. It's very difficult. He can see the potting angle. He can take it up the rail. And in doing so, the white ball is going to come off the rail and flick the red aside and leave the black on. Or he could just push the black towards the opposite middle. So then, up the rail, move the black, he's made it, but he's snookered himself. He is tight behind the red. Now he's going to have to go cushion first. Bridging over the top of that red. He's a tallish chap, he should be able to reach it, but I think the knuckle's in the way of the natural path of going cushion first. So he's going to have to play this with side, and there you go. Couldn't get there. And another golden opportunity. You can see Craig Lakyn spends no time. He's not worried about planning out this table. Straight down on the shot. But now he's just thought better of it. Not sure what he wants to play. And that is why he almost stepped out of that shot. He didn't need to play that shot. Now he's left it as a snooker, but that wasn't intentional. There was no thought of leaving it as a snooker. He was going for the aggressive attacking option. You could see him holding his head, and he mumbled something as if to say, "What are you doing?" As soon as you let these players on the table, you just can't let them on the table. Lakyn letting go a gilt-edged chance, and Gillespie just playing a soft bend. And that really did have to be well judged. Look at this. He needs to turn it over about half a ball, and that really needs to be judged well. But he should have never been there. Lakyn did not need to take that ball into that half pocket. Here we go. This is a better camera angle. Look at that. Just turns over about half a ball. Really, really well judged. That's a high degree of difficulty in that shot. But he just should have never, ever come to the table. Lakyn stood up off that shot and then was going to go the other way. And then he could have cleared that pocket and come back to the ball. I mean, the ball he was playing down the rail, the ball he was playing into that pocket wasn't tied up. So I don't know why he was trying to play it into half a pocket.
Frame, Scott Gillespie to break, leading 9 frames to 4, time running.
Well, Lakyn can't say he's not had his chances here, can he? He really can't. He's let 2 or 3 frames go. He could be on level terms. He's got another chance here. Liam Dunster 5-3 against Mark Farnsworth. Darren Appleton, Carl Boys 4 each. Adam Davis 6-3 against Craig Waddingham. We're in the final 8 of the grand final of the Supreme Pool Series, and things are starting to warm up. No. Wow. He puts his hand up and apologizes. Adam Davis has just won another frame. He's 7-3 against Wad. Lakyn must have seen something. He's having the cue ball cleaned.
Time running.
He sees the game so quickly. His natural game is just fast and attacking, but it does mean he throws in the odd mistake, and that's what I said right at the top of the show.
Frame.
Wow, when you look at those spurned chances that Craig's had.
15th frame, break Lakyn the break. Trailing 9 frames to 5. Time running.
He puts his hand up again. That cue ball was going straight up into that top left-hand bag until the ball came around and saved him. He puts his hand up, and Scott Gillespie has a wry look at his friends as if to say, what is going on here?
Red's in play. Foul, 1 visit, ball in hand. Time running.
Another one. Another one. Loose cue ball. Just as he looks like he's got a chance of getting back within 3 frames. I mean, it is unlucky, but it is a loose cue ball that's allowing it to happen. Three balls here between Scott Gillespie and another semi-final. To put him on the hill. Should I say, of another semi-final.
Frame.
And every time he's made a semi-final, he's won the tournament. And he's on the edge again. Liam Dunson now 6-3 up against Mark Farnsworth. Adam Davis 8-3 against Craig Wardingham. Darren Appleton, Carl Boys tied together at 5 apiece. Life's easy for Scott Gillespie.
16th frame, Scott Gillespie to break, leading 10 frames to 5. Time running.
Balls rushing towards pockets.
Ball in hand behind the break line.
But the white also goes in, and I go back to it again. I mean, there's a 5 frame difference here, and Scott's broken dry a couple of times and now gone in off. If it wasn't for these few mistakes that Craig Lakyn has made, this could easily be 8-7 to him. It's amazing. It's a game of just fine margins.
10 seconds.
Extension. Extension call.
See, there's another one. He's about 8 inches short of where he wanted to be. And as a result, he's just played a little attacking safety shot, just moving his yellow out. It's a clever shot actually, because where he's left the yellow, Scott has no path through. Had the yellow not gone there, Scott would have had the bottom red into that middle bag.
Seconds. 5, 4.
Extension call.
Wow. It was a decent shot anyway, but the red coming around, just nudging.
Time running.
Yeah, now we could see a little series of tap shots. It's a very open table. Neither player's going to want to give an inch.
One visit, all in hand. Time running.
Ironic, good shot there from Scott. It's funny, you just never felt that Lakyn is totally out of this game. I mean, at 10-5, what should now be 10-6, you just felt at some point if he just clicks. Now Scott's gone dry a couple of times on his break. I think he's left it too late now, but a couple of frames ago, you still felt that he was in it. Doing the right thing there. Just stepping off the shot, composing himself. He didn't feel right. Maybe a negative thought going through his mind.
Frame.
Very good from Craig Lakyn. A very quick, fast attacking player, but showing some wisdom there. Referee Sam
17th frame. Craig
checking the
Lakyn
rack.
trailing 10 frames to 6. Time running.
Oh my goodness, look at that. I mean, he is literally cursed. I mean, that cue ball was perfect, and it's taken 3 or 4 nudges to push it into the pocket.
Foul. 1 visit behind the break line.
1, 2,
Time running.
3 nudges. I don't know who he's annoyed, but he's definitely done something to rattle the pool gods. Karma is not on his side. It just doesn't seem that it was to be for Craig Lakyn. I think that cue ball's been in the pocket more times in this match than it has for most of the weekend. It's probably gone in off about 6 or 7 times. Darren Appleton, Carl Boys are just trading frames. It's 6 each. Adam Davis 9-3 against Waddingham. Dunster 6-4 against Farnsworth.
Yellow's in play.
But I'm running out of superlatives when talking about Scott Gillespie. What else can you say about the man? What he's done this year is probably never been achieved before in the way that he's done it. The man literally must be walking on a cloud. Another incredible performance from Scott Gillespie. Sees him through to another semi-final. And you can see what it means to him. Craig Lakyn has put in a solid performance over this weekend. But we have to bid farewell to him for the 2018 Supreme Pool Series. Scott Gillespie marches on. We'll catch up with him in just a few minutes. We're joined again by Scott Gillespie and Lakyn. Scott, another incredible performance. I mean, early doors, it was pretty much flawless.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I started off obviously 4 breaking finishes. I should have made it 5. The ball just kind of deviated a little bit. I think maybe I hit a finger mark or something. But no, I started good. I mean, Craig beat me yesterday, and it was kind of a role reversal there because he broke really well against me. But over the minute, I did play really well there.
I mean, it's 7-3 up. I think Craig, he's made his first ball off the break, and then he's had a little flick and gone in off. It just felt like that could be a point where he could be gathering momentum. I mean, I even said at 10-5, he's probably giving you 3 frames, and it could have been like kind of 8-7 the other way almost. It never really felt like he was totally out of the game, but he wasn't getting any run of the ball at all. Okay, a few poor shot selections by him, but he didn't get much run either, did he?
No, I mean, to be honest, you're never safe with somebody like Craig because obviously he runs around the table. He can rattle frames off like melon probably.
Yeah.
But as I say, he is sometimes loose with his white ball, and I think that's sometimes what does kind of hinder him a wee bit.
Yeah. From you though, I mean, I don't even know what to say about this. You know, I said on the commentary, I'm running out of superlatives to say about you. It's just been an absolute whirlwind of a year. I mean, I know you don't lack any self-belief. You believe, you know what you're capable of doing. But if there were ever any doubters out there, you've proved them wrong this year.
No, but I mean, I think you're always going to get doubters regardless what sport you're in. But I just keep myself to myself. I'm probably not as out there as many maybe the top players. But I know for myself, if I'm on my game, I'm a match with anybody, and I'm probably my favourite.
Yeah.
Well, you're definitely a favourite. 2, can you make it 3?
Here's hoping.
1 at each rule set.
Yeah, I know, that would
First
be
man to make history with that.
unthinkable.
And the money, would that mean a lot to you?
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine my fiancée is at home just now planning all sorts for the wedding because always we've got a wedding coming up. So
Yeah, when is that?
It's 2020, September 2020. So I don't know if she might try and push it forward now because always.
Yes, you want to spend that, but no, congratulations. I hope you continue and play well throughout the
Cheers.
tournament.
At any point do you start to think about the money, or are you just taking it one game at a time?
To be honest, I've not thought about it. I mean, see if you start thinking about money in this game, it's always been a hobby to me. I mean, I know there's a lot of money on the line here, but really, I mean, if you win this now, you are cemented as one of the greats, I would say.
Yeah.
So no, money's not an issue just yet.
Yeah. I think you've already cemented yourself as one of the greats. I really do. What you've done over the last couple of years has been incredible, and long may it continue.
Cheers.
Best of luck.
I also think as well, you're probably guaranteed to be number 1 now with Phil being out.
Yeah.
So that's an
it's a
achievement in itself.
Nice accolade.
Yeah, definitely.
Good luck for the rest of the tournament, Scott.
Thanks.
We'll see you soon. There's still some action going on the other tables. I think a couple are still live. We'll be back with the semi-finals as soon as they get going, though. Look out for the notifications. Goodbye for now.